Me.
Hello, Lamely! Welcome to, oh my God, we're back in the book. Another chapter of Me, I Am a Memoir, the meaning of Mariah Carey. And we're going to learn a lot of meaning today because we're going to get an actual dictionary definition in the chapter of divas.
Oxford Dictionary says.
Oxford Dictionary says. I wonder if this is how the book started. Like, you know, when you start your your assignments in school, you're like, I'll just start with the dictionary definition.
Of the meaning of Mariah Carey. I'm going to look up Mariah Carey.
20 words, and then I've only got another 35,400 to do.
I'm just imagining she looked herself up in the dictionary. But like, what does the dictionary say about me?
I know she possibly looked up divas and went, oh, good. No shade for me.
It's just a picture of me and Aretha and no one else.
No one else. Arm in arm. So, yes, we're going to do that chapter this week, and it's going to be spectacular because, well, it is the shadiest chapter, I think.
Oh, my God.
Of all time.
It's insane.
I feel like this is the chapter we came to this book for in the beginning. We've been schooled in racism, in white privilege. We've been schooled in, horrific boundary ruining by husbands that shouldn't have married people on their record label. We've been schooled in a lot of things, but I think this is what we came to the book for, and she's just saved a little morsel for the end.
Yeah.
A little bit of tasty shade. But we will get to that in a minute. This is Fab, that's Posh, in case you're just joining this podcast for the first time. Where have you been?
They just wanted this chapter. They were like, we want to hear them sculpt Celine Dion. That's all we want.
Anyway, we'll start off with some me moments.
All right, we have a few. All right, so buckle in.
What?
Mariah,
I'm already buckled in for the shade. I can't buckle in.
Strap in as well. Strap and buckle, darling.
I'll pull the strap to tighten.
Mariah spent Thanksgiving with a fan. After there was a whole Twitter moment, she decided to give the lucky fan a call on FaceTime and shared some collard green secrets. Their secret is cabbage. Mariah also wished everyone a happy Hanukkah with a little song while Rock and Row looked on as if this shit happens all the time. Row was literally yawning. BuzzFeed
it's
forced
like getting
Mariah...
woken up at 1 a.m. to play the piano so you can sing Adele.
Yeah, I can't imagine who did that. BuzzFeed forced Mariah
Sorry, BuzzFeed.
We've already lost it. BuzzFeed forced Mariah to pick between her own songs, pitting All I Want for Christmas Is You against Fall in Love at Christmas, Heartbreaker Remix against Fantasy Remix. And we learned during this whole time that she has something happening with The Roof right now with someone. I'm thinking maybe a Butterfly Lounge moment. And Mariah has
we're going to get a long-awaited duets album from Mariah in the Butterfly Lounge.
And it's all Valentine's Day, like 20-minute remixes, Taylor's version, Mariah's version.
Yes.
I don't know if Mariah knows Taylor. We'll find out.
We'll
find out on the duets album. But Mariah has a tough time with all of this because she wrote these songs. Like these other people who don't write their songs, they can probably pick them really easy.
They can probably pick them really easily.
So
those
easy.
regular people. I love
they can pick it because they only sang on one of them.
She's got the trowel out, just throwing it around. I love it. There's a full shade cloth over the top of all of this.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's like the thing in The Simpsons where Mr. Burns blocks out the sun.
Yes.
It's a full, like where the whole earth is being shaded. Yes. So Mariah has also done a stack of interviews recently. And in one, the interviewer brought up that Butterfly is turning 25. And Mariah has said, let's change that to my actual birth date. Meaning that Mariah was in fact born in 1997, like I foresaw at the beginning of this podcast.
Yeah.
It's come true.
Exactly.
We Mariah-fested it.
Mariah-fested it.
It's a new term. Look it up. It'll be in the dictionary next year, next to diva.
Mariah festing.
She also talked about Butterfly 25 possibly sharing some moments that weren't shared in the book.
Ooh.
So keep an eye out for that. And of course, Waleed Ali has officially changed his name to Maleed after Mariah accidentally called him that on the project.
Yeah,
Though, was it an accident or is it just a better name? You know?
Yeah.
I think she's like, you know what? It starts with an M. That's better.
We have the same agent. I will call her and get her to change it on his.
It has to be Maleed Kali so that it starts with MC. Now, we also have the festive headlines where Mariah has demoted eggnog and stated that she and Santa will be sipping on Black Irish this Christmas, explaining that eggnog is now only for regular people.
Yep.
And the Mariah menu is going down a treat, and we've even got an ad with Mariah dipping but not actually eating a McNugget in some sauce or something. And Mariah has released some throwback remixes for Fall in Love at Christmas, so you definitely need to check those out.
I have.
Yes, and in our lead story, All I Want for Christmas Is You has been certified diamond. Which means that Mariah has officially promoted diamonds to the level of best friend. Because we were close before, but now we're best friends. Yeah. And it's the first RIAA Diamond holiday song in recorded music history.
Oh, wow.
Meaning it has 10 million US sales and 1 billion streams on Spotify worldwide. Not to be confused with Mr. Worldwide, who Mariah probably doesn't know.
Not anymore. If she ever did.
Which does bring us to the end of the many Mimi moments.
Oh, there's so many Mimi moments. We didn't even get to all the things she's flogging on her bloody Instagram.
I know.
There's a lot. There's a lot of Mariah happening. I mean, she is the queen of Christmas, and she has a lot of things to sell. Anyway, I've downloaded a mobile game that I don't really like or enjoy because she didn't add for it.
I'm just the little elf in my own little toy store trying to piece together the amount of Mariah Mimi moments.
I don't even know how you cull it down to the small little Mimi moments that you do. Mm-hmm. But good on you. Well, now that we've reached the end of Mimi moments, I guess we are ready for a recap.
Yes, please remind me, because at this point, there's so many bonus episodes that I have no idea what's happening.
Okay, so our last one was the chapter Precious.
Yes.
Yes. In the movie Precious, Mariah is Miss Weiss, no makeup, not even blush, but thankfully Mariah Carey in full force walked the red carpet at Cannes and had a splash when she won an award in Palm Springs.
A couple of splashes.
A couple of splashes.
Full bottle table splashes.
So that's our recap.
Thank you. I needed that because this chapter's not connected to anything else.
No,
so
I know. It just sort of happens. Are you prepared for the gist? The gist. Do you have your safety goggles on? I'm
about as prepared as the other divas.
Mariah works with divas: Aretha, Diana, Patty, Whitney, and some others. Costume dramas, aircon debacles, and epic shade.
Press that button on that sun little closer thing.
Oh my Lord, the epic shade. Oh, I can feel it from here, and it burns. It burns.
You need a fan. You need a festive fan moment.
I know, I do. By the way, the epic shade should be dragging people into the shade with it.
Yeah. So does that mean it's time to break it on down?
I'm really ready to break this on down.
You're buckled, you're strapped.
I need to break it down hard.
Okay, don't you worry. I went to town on this one. Breaking me on down. So we are in part 4, Emancipation, on the chapter Divas. Not many chapters left.
No, I know. We're nearly at the end.
I know. Thankfully, we've got 1 billion more albums to do.
Yep.
So the content never ends.
Never ends.
So we start with the classic / Mariah definition of the word diva, a distinguished and celebrated female singer, a woman of outstanding talent in the world of opera, usually soprano, and by extension in theatre, cinema, and popular music, with the exception of country singers, French Canadians, and anyone who I originally wrote Hero for. Yeah, that's what it said in the book. I think I killed him already.
It doesn't say that.
It was my Carrie Bickmore delivery that threw you off.
Not Mariah Esther Carey, fuck.
Now, Mariah tells us of her love for her North Star, Aretha Franklin, not to be confused with her Northern Star, Melanie C. She mentions not only Aretha's great vocals. I was on fire today. What can I say? She mentions not only Aretha's great vocals, but her infusion of gospel and jazz and her skills on the piano, with Big Jim Wright saying that when Aretha felt the Holy Spirit, she'd tap him on the shoulder, slap him across the face, call him a Nancy, and commence to play.
You know how she's in the Blues Brothers movie.
Think. You better think.
Yeah, and she kind of like, because she just was terrible at miming, and so she just was like, I'll just play the piano and sing it for like just record me while it's happening. Like, so she just did it every time.
Amazing.
Like herself. Like, yeah, I'm going to do this a bit different now, and they're like, okay.
Yeah. It's like Mariah with the blush. So I'm just going to do continuity be damned.
Yeah.
So the first time Mariah met Aretha was at her first Grammys, where she was nominated for every single award, including Best Person Ever.
Yes.
Mariah wasn't nervous she wasn't nervous because she'd only been in the business for 6 months, nor to perform in front of millions. She was mostly concerned that she had to sing in front of her the
Royal
Queen.
Highness, the Queen of Soul.
Many times Mariah had visualized a dream of singing in front of Aretha. She knew what she was doing, and didn't expect that she didn't
into the chapter.
Yeah, but she didn't expect it on the first go around.
No,
like, she's like, "This is my first year on Earth. I don't understand."
Yeah, I am not born yet. I won't be born for another 4 albums.
Exactly. So during rehearsal, Mariah crawled on bended knee to Aretha and humbly whispered, "Miss Franklin, my name is Mariah Carey. It's a special name, just like Aretha, not regular like that fly girl you've been hearing about," and thanked her for being an inspiration. I think the shade rubbed off.
I think the shade has rubbed off. You are shady as all get out. To your poor namesake.
I know. Years later, Aretha said to Mariah, "Now I have to try and do Mariah doing Aretha without having heard Mariah doing Aretha." So
oh my God. It is.
I don't know what's about to happen. Yeah, I know. And I'm doing this from like, it'll be shit, but I have to do it. You can't not do it.
It is like, seriously, I was just like, again on a plane, and I was like, what?
"Oh no,
Mariah, you are what?
Oh, she's good at it.
Heaven, she's so good."
So I apologize in advance because I'll just keep going back into an Australian accent. "Mariah, you've always had good manners. And that's the thing that most of these young girls are lacking. It's the manners."
It's not good.
No? It's problematic?
No,
okay.
It's not even that it's problematic.
It's just bad.
It's
the timing.
It's not even the timing thing. You've left out one of her signature Aretha-isms.
Where?
What have
I done?
It's she manage.
Oh, see, I don't know that.
You got to hear it. You've got to hear it. It is amazing.
I can't do it. Let me try it again in my accent. Yeah, right. So Mariah, you've always had good manners, and that's the thing that most of these young girls are lacking. It's the manners. They don't have them. And you're the only one I love. You're like a daughter to me. Oh. Mariah went on to win every award that night, plus all the awards for the years gone by and in the future. And that's why the Grammys are now called the Mariahs.
This seems like, I don't think you're taking this seriously.
I don't know. Am I? I think I am. It's probably going to get way more.
Oh, dear.
So Mariah's next encounter with Aretha was at the 1998 VH1 Divas live show. And when Mariah arrived the day before to rehearse, temperatures were rising between Aretha and Ken Ehrlich, Aretha's producer, because the air conditioner was on. And Aretha does not know air conditioning.
No. It's bad for your voice. Mariah has been warned. She knows about this.
She was warned by Luther Vandross about singing in cold temperatures.
Don't sing in
and
the
Mariah
cold.
recalls a certain performance that she did in bitter cold wearing a bedazzled leotard in 8-inch Louboutins at the world's busiest intersection, Punt Road, that she'd rather forget, darlings.
Was that the New Year's one that people pretend?
I believe so.
Where she couldn't hear herself and she's like, nah, I'm just going to start talking.
Yeah. It's fine. And I'll just tell everyone all the things that they're doing wrong.
Yeah.
So the other quote-unquote divas on the lineup were Celine Dion, Shania Crane, Gloria Estefan, and Carole Kong. But only because Kong had written You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman. That's the only reason she was allowed to be there. And Ken told Mariah that several times that night Aretha spat on the other girls and hired a skywriter to say, Mariah is the only girl that I'll be singing with this evening.
She pretty much did.
Yeah. And Mariah made sure that got written in. Like, this was, of all the sentences in the book, she's like, is that one in there? I don't want no editor taking that out.
Yeah, that one's going to stay.
So at rehearsals, Mariah was crushed when Aretha said, Mariah, they're playing games, and I'm not having the games, so we won't be rehearsing this evening. I don't know what's happening. I feel like maybe if you smush our impressions together, it will make an almost
I'm not having the games.
So Mariah grabbed her machete and just started swinging. Ken paced around saying... Ken paced around saying she's doing what she always does. But Mariah didn't care about any of that. She just wanted to rehearse with the Queen of Soul. Yeah. Why couldn't they just turn the fucking air off? She screamed while slashing the throat of Shania or Gloria. She couldn't quite tell what with all the blood. The whole thing was
very dark now. I don't know. This is okay.
I'm wearing a lot of red.
You are. It's festive.
The whole thing was a nightmare, except for the part where Aretha told Mariah she liked Dream Lover and also Prisoner.
Didn't say that.
Didn't she? I don't know. And suggested that they sing it together. I hope Prisoner, not Dream Lover. Mariah was floored, and years later, Aretha did go on to cover both Hero and Touch My Body, removing the risky bits because she's a church-going woman.
I know, I love it.
I know. But Mariah, humbly as always, asked Aretha if they could sing Chain of Fools instead.
Yes.
A lot of humbleness in this chapter.
Well, look, it's Aretha. You can't, she would freak out to sing one of Mariah's songs. It would be like, I would love that, but equally, no.
Yeah. And Dream Lover of all of them. I can't even belch.
Also, the other thing that would have freaked her out a bit is and it probably would have been seen as a bit of a power play, is Carole King was performing at this and they were going to sing You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, whereas if Aretha's gone, I also sing songs written by this woman, it would have been a bit like a little kick in the teeth. Because they did write a song together, Mariah and Carole, and it didn't go well.
True. I'm not entirely sure Aretha's aware that Carole King's there, which we will get to. So the day of the show, Aretha had Mariah rehearse with her in her trailer, while the others were eating slop out of a trough. Mariah then gave a posh synopsis of their performance.
Mariah, I haven't reread it. This is weird.
No, Mariah did. She gives a posh synopsis of their performance, and I just wrote "bitch is coming for my gig." But as with every tribute show, there was a big finale where all the artists come to sing a big song together. This time with "You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman."
Yes.
Everyone knew their parts, but they also knew that this was Aretha's song, even though the songwriter Candy Kane was standing right there. But that doesn't matter. If Aretha decided after having no rehearsal to sing whatever the fuck she liked, the other girls just had to deal with it.
Yeah.
But one diva didn't understand the rules of the court that Mariah just made up and tried to come a little for the Queen of Soul.
You don't come for the Queen.
This is a quote from Mariah. "It was fine. I wouldn't have ever done that. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm not going to go on about it beyond these next 9 paragraphs. Then I'm done. It's fine. I don't think it's fine.
It's not fine.
Pretty sure it's not fine."
You've watched it. It's not fine.
Not fine. So at the very end, Aretha decided to take it to church, putting her arm around Mariah and signing a permission slip allowing Mariah a few Jesuses, but only because she was invited to do so.
Exactly. She was welcomed into Jesus Club.
Mm-hmm. In Mariah's
what
humble
in Jesus
opinion,
Club stays in Jesus Club. The second rule of Jesus Club: don't talk about Jesus Club.
Jesus Club 7. In Mariah's... I don't know what's happening. In Mariah's humble opinion, one of the divas had gone too far.
Yes.
Not just in trying to outsing Aretha, but simply for being born in the first place.
Oh, no.
That happened. Mariah could not believe this, especially since Aretha was singing about Jesus.
I know.
Mariah wouldn't rock up
for the love of Jesus. He loves who he loves.
No. And Mariah wouldn't rock up at her gig and start singing about the Titanic, you know? That's your deal, girl. Like, you sink those boats and that's your thing.
You sing with your tin whistle and we'll all be over here doing other things.
And that maybe this was a big culture gap, Mariah thought, envisioning Quebec to be a barren wasteland ruled by geese where everyone walks on their hands and defecates right where they stand.
It is a strange place.
It's culturally different.
It is.
To Mariah, this was
There's
lunacy.
more tenacity there. I don't know.
To Mariah, this was lunacy, wanting no part in this blasphemy. She went to hide behind the backing singers in the hopes of evading the Zeus-like powers Aretha was sure to harness through her every orifice. But Aretha didn't care. She was more talented than all the geese in Quebec combined. And she had so much fun that night and tore it down, which does make one think, was this such a big deal? Did we really need 19 paragraphs on it? But logic may play no part in the legend of the divas.
No. If you watched it when it was broadcast, you would still have that etched into your brain as a moment.
Oh, really?
It's like, what is happening? I remember reading a review of it at the time, talking about Aretha being a proper diva and behaving the way a diva should.
True.
And that everyone else were just singers. And then said, and then it said something like, and Celine Dion with a tenacity that can only be described as Canadian. Thought she could bring it to the Queen of Soul.
It is funny because I remember my mum, we watched this when it aired. I was small. And there was a simulcast on Double TFM.
Yes, I remember.
And I remember mum saying, Aretha's the diva. Like even my mum knew, a white woman from Coburg knew that Aretha is the diva. And so the next few years when people like Shakira were rocking up, mum was like, I'm checking out now.
Yeah.
No.
Aretha is the diva.
The diva. So later, when Mariah relayed the story to her fairy godmother, Patti LaBelle, who just showed up one day holding a pumpkin, insisting they were related, she was told, Mariah,
I'm your godmother.
Mariah, that's just what it is.
Mariah, Patti, Mariah, Patti.
You've got a new relative. Mariah, if you...
I'm so glad Mariah. We got the origin of one of my favourite downloads from the internet.
Oh my God, so random. So yes, Patti said, Mariah, if you would have participated in that hoedown, I would have had to come and slap you in the face, tear your flesh from your bones, lightly barbecue it, and eat you with a lime aioli.
Where is this coming from? You have broken at some point.
I think that there was so much shade, I just went with it. I rode the wave. So this is where I get to a little moment of thoughts, because this feels like the end of the first part of this chapter.
This is Diva 1. There's 3 divas, and this is Diva 1.
This is Diva 1. So the things that were just screaming through my head was feels like the first time in this entire book that Mariah is throwing shade for the sake of throwing shade.
Yeah.
Like elsewhere, it's sort of been coming from people who've wronged her, maybe.
Yes.
A place of hurt, a place of sort of deflection. But in this case, it's like, no, you just kind of pissed me off. So,
well, look,
I'm just gonna say
if you've seen the special, she's not wrong.
Well, see, I might have thoughts on that too.
Oh, okay.
Right. What have I got here? More so as we watch it as well. But there were other accounts told as well. So there's a Carole King version. Right. There's a Celine version. So Carole King's version is essentially that it was all sort of set up for who was singing what.
Yeah.
But Aretha was like, well, I'm just going to do what I want to do.
Yeah, she's a diva. That's the whole definition. We've learned that.
And Carol sort of saw Celine just kind of jumping and going, well, I'll just dive in with this. Like, I don't know what's happening. It's a soup. I'll dive in. Celine has said, oh, I was just excited for my moment with Aretha because it's Aretha Franklin.
Yeah.
And Mariah, all 3 versions are valid. And I think the one thing that sort of strikes me as, and it could be because of the Canadian-ness, I don't know. I don't know much about Celine in terms of, I know the singles and I know she has quite the personality.
Very forceful.
But I've not sort of come across or heard anything about her being calculated.
No.
So I sort of saw it maybe
There's
as
nothing
more of
calculated about it at all, but it is.
No, I think it's a misreading of the moment.
Yes,
more
definitely.
than anything.
Yeah, cultural.
And and what did I say here? Hang on. Oh yeah, and because you know how like before Mariah was saying that Aretha was saying that people were playing games. I kind of want to know, was Aretha talking about everyone? Was it the divas? Was it Ken? Was it the air conditioner people? Was it everyone? I
mean, look, maybe there were some people who didn't need to save their voices because they were going to mime to their biggest hit. So
well, that comes up as well, and I'm a little torn.
So maybe they were like, you should put the air conditioning on. It doesn't worry me.
Either way, Mariah hopes that everyone on stage that day learned a little RESPCT and found it out what it means to me, and let us know that Aretha will not only always have her respect, but she's dedicating an entire bathroom to her, aka the Pacific Ocean.
Do you know what said it for me in the performance that I went, oh, she's overstepped a line, is when Celine goes for a bit of a run. And then Aretha is like, no, I'll sing this bit and that's to tell you to stop. And then she just keeps going. And it's like, what signal are you not reading here? Like, because can see Mariah when they're singing Chain of Fools kind of like, at the side of the skippy rope, just waiting for
Mariah looked slightly terrified of Aretha.
Absolutely terrified.
And we will be breaking this on down fully at some point. Just so all the listeners know. So we're going to dig real deep into these moments.
But I feel like, just the signals were not read. And that, is something that comes with it. Sometimes people are just so into their own, thing that they're doing that they're like, oh, there are other people here. I have been that person.
And look, if
I know.
Same. And I mean, I feel like if Celine had any self-awareness, well, she wouldn't be Celine, would she?
That's true.
This is, I'm sure, not the only time that people have kind of watched her on stage and gone, "Oh, you're a bit nuts."
Remember that interview with her and Gwen Stefani on the Today
I will
Show?
Never forget that interview. It is etched in my memory.
Gwen's like, I can't get out of here because I'm on TV, and I would run out of the building if I could.
So good. But following the hoedown, VH1 called Mariah back for a Diana Ross tribute in 2000. Oh. It was to include a Supreme Soul moment with Mariah, Diana, and Donna Summer. Mm-hmm. As Mariah was more familiar with Ms. Ross's disco moment, she enrolled in the Trey Lorenz School of Diana Ross.
Oh, I love that Trey Lorenz is all over Miss Ross. Mm-hmm. I love it.
I want to go to that school. Let's be real. Yeah. I'll be washing my dishes. I'm doing home ec. At the school of Trey Lorenz's School of Diana Ross. And this is when Mariah put it together that Ms. Ross, Ms. Franklin, Shaka Khan, and Billie Holiday were all born within the same week of March that Mariah was born.
Oh.
Now, I did a little research into this, and she's mostly correct.
Right.
But Billie Holiday was actually born April 7th, so she's a little outside.
Right.
But do you know who was born just 3 days after Mariah?
Oh, no. A regular person?
No. Celine Dion.
Oh, really? Didn't get a mention in the birthday wish. Didn't get a mention.
But Billie Holiday, who's well outside of the week, did. 1 year and 3, like 1 year before, 3 days after, if that makes sense. So Trey and Mariah had met before the debut came out, and Mariah heard him doing BVs next door and went in to investigate. They instantly clicked, shared the same sense of humour and many isms. I just want to pause for a minute.
Isms.
Because Mariah isms.
Yeah. She has many isms.
She does. With Ms. Ross being an endless inspiration. So Mariah had met Diana on Top of the Pops and even had her record a birthday message to Trey. And this is where we get a full Oprah explaining of Top of the Pops, which I love. Yep. But at this point in the Divas show in 2000, they weren't sure how Donna Summer was going to be incorporated. So we get a flashback. We haven't had a flashback for a while. We're at summer camp where Mariah was one of the few mixed or lighter skinned kids and was not liked very much. Except that Khalil liked her. The cutest boy in the whole damn camp.
Liked Mariah. It's going to put the other girls out of joint.
Mm-hmm. During the closing day dance, Khalil took Mariah's hand as last dance, slowly filled the room, and they smashed out. That's it. They smashed out some Debbie Allen arm choreography.
And
Mariah took this experience and used it to conceive Camp Mariah. But she'd yet to meet Miss Summer. So this was there were so many that we've got to flash back.
So this is just her having a foundational moment with Donna Summer.
Yes. And I would have loved if the song was actually Love to Love You Baby with all the moans, because that would have been awkward. At the taping of Divas, everyone was excited for Diana Ross to arrive. She'd been in a holding pattern above the venue ever since she rode the helicopter out of the Super Bowl. For some reason, Mariah takes a moment. I had to get the Super Bowl in. For some reason, Mariah takes a moment to mention her Rainbow album, which was her 7th consecutive album to produce #1 hits, with Heartbreaker being her 14th.
Yeah.
Just loved a casual. Did I not mention that in the Heartbreaker chapter?
Do you know what I would love? I would love someone like reading this to Nicki Minaj, just going, "Stop mentioning it." Tell him to stop mentioning all the hits.
So many, though.
So many hits.
You never run out.
How can you just stop mentioning them? That's what I've got to talk about. It's my whole life. It's just hits.
Yeah, like the biggest Christmas hit ever. I don't know.
Ever. A diamond.
And like three other Diamond songs, pretty sure.
Yeah.
So Donna Summer came up looking shy and uncomfortable. Then went off to look at some ugly green dresses, which Mariah later gifted to J Hud and Ariana Grande. Suddenly. That's why she was eyeing them off. She's like, they're hideous. I'm going to hold on to those.
I know who's going to wear those in the future, even though they're not born yet.
Suddenly, Mariah was told that Ms. Summer wouldn't be doing the number, and Mariah decided it's because of the green dresses.
Yeah,
so now the performance would just be a duet. So what do you reckon happened here?
I don't know.
As far as Donna Summer. Like, was she intimidated? Like,
was she in the special at all in the end?
Yeah, I looked it up and she did sing her own songs, but not this moment. Maybe she didn't know the lyrics. Maybe she didn't go to Trey Lorenz's school of Diana Ross.
Maybe she didn't. Or maybe she thought it was making her look less than Diana. And was
possibly.
I'm as big as Diana. I was a big disco diva.
Possibly.
Maybe.
But Mariah did make it known that she would not be wearing the green monstrosities, but as always, had a backup wardrobe with her. And it turned out she actually had 2 dresses.
Oh.
And humbly offered one to Diana, who happily made it her own. Just don't bend over.
Don't bend over. And it was Donatella Versace, was it not?
I think so, yeah.
Just given to her. Just like, do you want one in every colour? Sure. You look good in this.
You look fabulous. I give it to you.
Not green, though. No green.
No green.
It's a regular colour.
No one look good in green.
She's like,
I once made green dress. Ugly woman wear it.
Do you know my favourite part?
Almost see vagina.
I'm pretty sure Jerry Halliwell wore it before anyone regular wore it.
No.
Yeah. Then I got a little gagged, you guys, because Mariah reflects on meeting Diana Ross in London after selling 40 kajillion albums and bringing a whole ass entourage, where Diana, who did her own makeup because 500 hours, said, Mariah, someday you're not going to want to have all these people around you. To which Mariah says, I believe that someday is not far away. Is Mariah leaving us? Is this?
I don't know that she's leaving us.
Happening?
I think she's just going, I can do this shit myself.
Yeah, I've got the 500
I just organise some people come over to my fucking butterfly lounge, sing a song, put it on the internet. Like, what's so hard? What do I need all these people for?
I've got 1,000 Donatella Versace dresses in my back room, so we'll just trim them. It's all good.
Yeah. Although, I haven't seen Diana in a long time. Is she okay? What's going on with Diana?
She's got a hit at the moment.
Well, there you go.
Like, there was a song on the radio. I was like, who is this? And her voice is deeper than it is known to be. And I was like, oh, Diana Ross? Really? And it's apparently doing quite well for her. So well done on that, Ms. Ross.
I am mad for her daughter, Tracy Ellis.
Yes, we love a bit of Tracy Ellis Ross.
Heaven. Mm-hmm. Can we do that as like a watch thing where we watch the movie with her and Dakota Johnson?
What movie is that?
It's I forget what it's called, but she's like a pop star, and now she's in her 40s, and she's like, find me one woman on the charts in her 40s because I'm done. And it's like, so she's like a famous star, and Dakota Johnson is her assistant, and it's apparently very funny. I saw it on the Amazon. Okay. I really want to watch it.
Oh, we might have to.
Because, I mean, it's basically Tracy Ellis Ross playing every diva we've ever loved.
Perfect. See, this was me last year with A Divas Christmas Carol starring Vanessa Williams.
Oh, heaven. I love Vanessa Williams.
It's literally just the Charles Dickens movie, but the past is a behind the music episode. I'm not even joking. It's amazing.
I want to see it. I love a Christmas movie. Yeah.
So good. And in the final diva moment, Mariah recalls the time where she and Whitney opened the VMAs wearing, on purpose, the same dress.
Yes, diva moment 3.
Yes, it was the Clash of the Divas moment. And Mariah gives us another posh synopsis of the bit, but she just... Like, it's just the transcript.
Yeah.
Before telling us that it almost didn't happen as Mariah's dress hadn't arrived.
What?
I know. Luckily, production arranged for a police escort to clear the streets and get the dress there on time. It also meant that Mariah didn't have to worry about calling a cab for her mother as she was already at the station making a complaint. So she just hitched a ride. Oh, that's my daughter. I'll come with you.
I'll come with you. I'm the one that stopped the dress.
And can
Morgan's my favourite.
I'm just going to the concert to tell her she should be half the singer I am. And can we just talk about police escorts? This is not the first time that I've heard of one being used for a concert. That's pretty hectic.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to close down all of New York.
Yeah.
Let's just stop it where
We've
it
got
is.
a dress to get to the concert.
We can't get to the domestic.
Mariah and Whitney have to be on
dress.
stage together. That is like
emergency.
the second coming, essentially. It's a diva emergency. Of course it's important.
Jesus. That's all you need to know. So we finish with a sentence possibly more perplexing than Princess Diana's OnlyFans, with Mariah stating, "That day, the police saved my one-of-a-kind dress moment. If only someone could have saved our once-in-a-lifetime Whitney Houston."
I know.
Which, I don't know, obviously when it said it was probably more heartfelt, but reading that felt like a leap.
Like, oh no, because it sounded sweet when she said it. Like,
okay, good. Because in the book, because we've had Whitney previously, this was just a small Whitney moment. So you kind of forget that you're in it. You're more in the police escort world.
Yes.
And it's like, oh yeah, the police saved my dress. If only they'd been able to save Whitney. It's like, oh, that went from 0 to 100. I'm not sure how we got there, but all right, Mariah.
Because it was about Whitney. Her and Whitney were having a fun moment together, and they probably would have continued to have fun moments together for, they'd probably do an album together if Whitney was still with us. They would have done a full
we can just get Mariah to go in and
double album.
Mariah can go into the vault.
And just sing over some old Whitney songs. She'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like maybe Mariah could have written an album for Whitney one day.
Oh, that'd be nice.
I know. Anyway.
But that does bring us to the end of Breaking Me On Down.
Oh, the shade.
I need to lie down.
There is so much shade. I can't believe you managed to find more shade that wasn't actually there.
I know.
To layer on top of all the shade. Like,
well, I mean,
I opened the library and threw all the books out.
I did. I think it's the first time that it's a chapter that allows frivolity, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's almost like I feel like this chapter is what we thought we were getting into with this entire book.
Yes.
And instead we have been schooled in a number of
which has been
incidents.
fantastic.
And I have
in terms
enjoyed
of
every minute. And there have been so
the
many
experience.
album and song origins that I am beside myself. But I did enjoy this trip down Diva Lane.
Oh, yeah.
Diva Shade Lane.
I want to live there. Here comes Diva Claus. Here comes Diva Claus. Right down Diva Claus Lane.
Ding a ding a ding a ding dong ding.
All right. Are you ready for a little Mariah meatiness? Mariah meatiness.
Yes, I am bang up for meatiness. Bring it on.
So last chapter we had Precious. I gave that an 8. Fab
Yes.
gave that Infirmity.
Infirmity.
And we sent it out to the landlady. This is interesting. It does get an infinity.
Oh,
But
excellent.
there's a split of 9 to 10 and 1 to 4.
Oh, a 1 to 4.
Yeah, they didn't like the shortness, I think.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe they didn't like Mariah without makeup. I understand it's confronting, but she does some great work.
Totally.
You have to look above the fact that, she doesn't look like Mariah Carey, because that was the director's
It
vision.
was the brief,
Yeah.
is what that was. She's an actor.
And she does some amazing reacting, because acting is reacting.
And she just acted again. That's how that works.
Yeah.
I've heard that somewhere. So for Divas, what is your Mariah meatiness score?
Well, look, it was just going to be, this is some fun anecdotes about some various concerts that she's done, but, the shade, the blessed, blessed shade. So it gets infinite shade.
Heaven. I've made up a word too, which is, it gets an indivity for sheer insanity.
Oh, so mad.
It's genuinely insane.
It's genuinely crazy, and I am here for it 1,000%.
I think the only thing that stood out in this chapter was that it probably feels like the chapter that least pertains to the meaning of Mariah Carey.
I think it pertains to the meaning of Mariah Carey in that she was taken under the wing, the rather delightful bingo wing of Aretha Franklin.
And no one else. No one was allowed. I was invited.
She was invited. On stage, Aretha grabs her and puts her in a headlock and sings with her for a while, as if to go, "You're my friend. Can you protect me from these skinny bitches who might cut me with their elbows?"
Oh my God.
Your hair makes me think you're fatter than you look.
Are you hiding a chicken in there? I don't know what's happening.
Like, her hair is so big. Like, her hair
So
is
big.
gigantic. Like, it is the
We
biggest.
will be touching on that too, because there's another diva who gets a look at it halfway through and goes, I better add some extra wigs on top. Are you ready for a little remix moment?
Oh, let's remix it.
All right. I don't know if people are going to be ready for my remix.
Oh, you're going to be horrible. I can
think
feel it.
It might be controversial. So my remix is, if I was writing this story, when I told the Diva Gone Wild part, I would have used Celine Dion's name.
Right.
Because I found in the book, whenever we throw the shade, as we've mentioned, it's related to something more real, literally sometimes. But even when we talk about someone regular that we don't know, it's sort of like, I'm not saying their name because I don't know them.
Maybe she
Don't know
doesn't.
them.
She doesn't know.
Well, this is the thing. This is where it came through. There's a few things that have brought this together for me when I was reading it. Mariah did send condolences to Celine on multiple occasions when Renee passed. Side note, there are rumours that Renee was backstage causing some drama, so perhaps that might be part of why.
Turn the air conditioning on. It's too warm in here for her.
And either way, Mariah said
playing the
Celine Dion's
games.
name. Mariah did say Celine's name within the lineup, so she must know who she is. Otherwise, she wouldn't have said their names. Yeah. But
unless this is just Mariah going, look, if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to throw too much shade. If you want to go and watch it, you'll know who I'm talking about. But I don't want to drag anyone through the mud because they're bereaved.
Yeah. But back the truck up just in case. No, so I think my thinking behind it was, if this was a moment that none of us saw, a little backstage story that she wanted to tell, and she's like, you know what, I don't need to say their name. I don't, it's not about that.
Yeah.
It's just about the day. Admit the name. Totally fine.
Yeah.
If it was, one diva did this and I wasn't a big fan. Also fine. But she went into it and she knew that we knew.
You know the other thing is there's no way for a scandal monger to pull out a piece of text from this chapter and go, this is what Mariah said about Celine Dion. It's like, you have to explain everything. And
That's true. I mean, they did it. They just do a little bracket.
Yeah, I know.
Celine.
But that's kind of a leap you have to by reading the book, unless you know this intimately, this concept, you would just go, oh, she could be talking about Shania. I don't know what went on with Shania. And she's, by not naming her in this moment, I feel like it's judiciously done, because it's like, well, you can't just copy and paste this and stick this in, your trashy magazine.
It did go through my head, but that ruins my remix, so I'm ignoring it.
Oh, okay, good.
Because I'm being a diva. But no, do you know what it was about it that kind of made me scratch my head? Was that, so much of this chapter is about respect.
Yes.
And one of the things that Mariah has talked about before, when people have talked about her, in this instance, Demi Lovato, saying that Mariah disses people. Mariah said on Watch What Happens Live that, if they have something to say, basically, they should come up, introduce themselves to me, say, here's my opinion, what do you think about it? That's how you handle shit, said Mariah. And I'm like, well, then I just say Celine's name. If you want it to be up, face to face or whatever, just say it.
I hear what you're saying, but I feel like in this instance, what she's saying is, well, I would never have done that, and she did it, and it was fine. She said it was fine several times.
But that's what I mean. Fine. So why omit the name then? Because it's fine.
Because it was fine. I don't know.
To be honest, I just kind of thought, if this was sort of a no one, it's fine. But Celine Dion is Celine Dion. Let's not be disrespectful. Yeah. And I think she deserves the same respect that Mariah would command.
I think Mariah, reading this, it just reads like, I'm being as protective of Aretha as I possibly can. And I feel like...
And I will say, that's where I think a lot of this comes in to make it more personal, that it's obvious that Mariah has a deep affection for her, in the same way that we have deep affection for Mariah and other people that we love.
And she has always had that.
Coming... Yeah, so a lot of it is probably that.
I'm defensive of Aretha. How dare you try and take her spotlight during her diva moment? So,
and maybe my point is more if she stepped back and just looked at it with slightly broader terms. Yeah, but anyway, shut up. It's my remix. That's what I said. I said it, and I said it. I said Celine Dion. Celine Dion.
Family have cancelled Posh. Just between you and me. I'll sign that petition.
I already said I don't know that much about it. I'm just saying that. Shut up.
Cancel that bitch. Drag her.
Well then, smart ass, what's your remix? It'll be, I'm going to leave it exactly the same.
No, my remix is fucking Donna Summer, Do the Number.
Yes.
Oh.
It's too late now.
I know it's too late now, but that's what a remix is for.
That's true.
Is that not what we do? We remix it and rewrite.
I don't know anymore. We've lost our minds.
But yeah, I would remix it and have Donna Summer do that number, and then get Donna Summer and Mariah Carey to do No More Tears, Enough Is Enough together.
I think we need to get Khalil out as Donna Summer sings Last Dance for him and Mariah.
Yeah.
A little reunion.
That's love.
And then do Love to Love You Baby with the moans.
Yeah. I mean, look, Donna Summer has a special place in my heart because before the Mariah Carey 14-minute remixes, I do have a 12-inch of Enough Is Enough, No More Tears that goes for 12 and a half minutes.
And that's fair.
And I've got a 30-minute version of MacArthur Park that has like 4 other songs in it for some reason. And then she just circles back to MacArthur Park at the end.
Well, I mean, as you would. But she also did cover your favourite Young Divas song, This Time I Know It's For Real.
She sang that first. There is a great, crazy drag style song on that album with This Time I Know It Is For Real. Because that was all Stock Aitken and Mortimer. She did a Stock Aitken and Mortimer album because what do you do when you're Donna Summer and it's the end of the 80s? I'll do Stock Aitken and Mortimer. But there's one that's called Love's About to Change My Heart that has about 412 key changes in it.
Oh my God.
You would love it.
Is there a belt through?
Yes. Love's about to change my It's amazing. It just keeps going. Like you're like, it's almost as insane as Love on Top by Beyonce. Like just like another one.
That is insane.
What?
Yeah.
Where has this come from?
Only dogs can hear me now.
So yeah, you need to find that song. That is I do wish that Donna had joined in. But
she would have had to wear the green dress because Mariah only had 2.
And look, maybe it was the green dress. Maybe she's just gone.
Maybe.
No,
not happening. And also, we should say that Diana wasn't there to rehearse. Maybe Donna was like, "Well, if she's not here, I'm just not going to do it."
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Which Mariah could have done to Aretha, but as if she was going to.
Mm-hmm. All right. This brings us to... It's a hectic remix. This brings us to Can Take That Away, Mariah's Lesson. Can take that away. Oh, Mariah's Lesson. What is your lesson from this episode?
You can say no to the dress and the hoedown.
Patty,
in fact,
Patty calling it a hoedown.
You probably should say no to any hoedown.
If you don't want to be eaten, with a lime aioli, say no.
Say no to the dress. Say no to the hoedown. Like saying no is seriously. It takes years for you to work up the courage to do that. But you don't have to say yes to everything that everyone asks you to do. Mm-hmm. Like saying no, you can just go, I don't think that would be good for me.
It's not going to work.
I'm not going to do
it. It doesn't give me Christmas warmth, as Mariah would say.
Yeah.
So my lesson is if you just keep telling people that you're humble, then you're humble.
You're humble.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
But also...
I mean, you're in a concert called Divas. Like, she's probably... the humblest.
In my humble opinion. And also just a general lesson that I think we all learned is that Aretha don't fuck with no aircon.
No. She doesn't fuck with anything.
No, literally.
I love that. Like, one of my other favourite moments is a song I've been associated with for 25 years. Like, as if to go, some of you bitches were fetuses. This song came out.
Fetuses.
Oh, Lord. All right.
It's just that.
I think you'll be... Yeah, I know. And when we get to the special, there's some more moments that she's her facial expressions. So I think you might be able to help with this because I feel like I couldn't get them all with the I don't know hers. So I've got that Mariah doesn't know Faith Hill, who was also a headliner at the Diana Ross tribute, nor Destiny's Child or RuPaul. Mm-hmm. She doesn't know any of the divas from the show that we've just talked about. Mm-hmm. She doesn't know Demi Lovato in that quote that I used. But she might know the Cops for the first time because they saved her dress.
I think she has a begrudging acceptance of the Cops for this.
Just for that
instance.
one moment. Yeah.
Well, this is the light and shade. It's like Cops were bad in this instance, but now Cops are good. Like like everything. There's no black and white. It's all shades of grey. I was going to say grey.
Silver? Like silver foil?
No, not blue like the police wear, but...
Oh, right. I mean, the fact that you had that, top of mind and I didn't just shows what a prolo piece of shit you are.
I've always said I appreciate the acting. Even in Maid in Man.
I'm more of a monster-in-law man myself.
I know, of course you are. Do I have to do the story about how I played poker with Michael Vartan again? I can't do it anymore.
I can't do it again. The tarp is full.
Tarp is full.
Oh my God. Do you think I've missed anyone in the I Don't Know Hers?
I only thought she only did not know one person.
Oh.
I think there's only one person she didn't know.
Yeah.
And that was the person she spoke about the most without mentioning their name. I think she really does not know
might
the
not.
1998
And
version of Celine Dion.
And that's the thing that I almost wish I had more information on.
Yeah.
Is there other things at play? If not, it's really just a difference of perspective.
I think it is exactly what...
Was Renee pissing people off?
Could have been being
Was he insisting the
on the air conditioning? It could have been. They're playing games. You know what I think I think regardless of the Renee-ness, regardless of everything, I think it is purely, like you just said before, if someone tried, if Ariana Grande came for Mariah in a performance at Mariah's Christmas special, there would be fury. There would be who does she think she is as fans of Mariah? And as a fan of Aretha,
that's how that
you
makes
come
sense.
for Aretha, you get my back up and my claws out.
Yeah,
and
there's got to be a whole chapter on
I will build some shade. I will build an entire.
That's what Mariah was back there
shade.
doing when she went back to the backing singer. She was getting materials to
running up a shade
construct. She went and started sewing the curtain, lifting it.
But I think that's all it is. I think it's just a fan being upset at the person she loves. And I think there is only one person we don't know, and that is her.
Okay. So, bringing us to the Mariah-isms. In a chapter in which she ismed herself.
Oh my God, I know.
Yeah.
There are a million isms.
So last chapter, we both had the same Mariah-ism being, you better believe Ms. Weiss was left on the screen and Mariah Carey in full effect was there. So, I mean, I don't really care who goes first because there was no competition. So do you want to go?
All right. All debacles are not created equal, darling.
We did it again. That is my Mariah-ism. There's a lot in this one, but it was
so
just
many in this
so
one.
heaven.
It just felt so special.
Yeah. I did have special mentions for the other quote-unquote diva singers.
Oh my God.
And we love everybody, but I don't love this part of the show ever for a finale. But you couldn't look past. It's just a perfect little soundbite. All debacles are not created equal, darling. So that's good. We're on the same page.
Perfectly, Mariah. Oh, I can't wait for you to hear this chapter and to hear her pitch perfect impression of Aretha Franklin. It is
I'm very excited.
Divine. I was freaking out. I'm like, that's Mariah doing that. That's Mariah doing that voice.
Oh, yeah. Had you not heard her do it before?
No.
Oh, I had. Yes.
Oh, it's a heaven.
Yeah. The games. She does the games.
We won't be having the games.
Yeah. All right, but that does mean we are almost home.
Oh, right home.
Exhausted. So we should say that we can't say when, but we will be diving even deeper into the divas.
Excellent.
So One must
watch
keep an
it
eye out for that.
and dig it up. And you can
break it on.
We will deliver it to you as a special gift at some point.
To unwrap, perhaps.
Yes.
Don't know. But next Mariah Monday, we will be getting extra festive with Mariah's Christmas, The Magic Continues, in which you will get both a breakdown and a commentary track.
Get out!
We are going
double
full
dipping.
glitter.
We are
Double
going to
DP
of
Christmas. Mariah's Christmas.
God, DP Christmas.
The magic continues and continues some more.
Oh my God, Santa's going to come down our chimney and empty his sack twice.
Only if you jingle his bells. So, yeah, I think that brings us to the end of this episode. Have I forgotten anything?
No, it's been a very heavy episode and I'm very exhausted.
Please, join us on Instagram and the Twitters and leave us the reviews, the 5 stars, the 1 star for Fab since he likes that so much. And give me a set top list of
the new music from Possible Prince X on Spotify or wherever you get your music from. Please leave him a nice review because he's got a fragile ego. But he would.
I almost broke down about the remix.
He would never come for Aretha, though. I can tell you that for free.
Oh God, never.
Too humble.
I think I mentioned that. I am humble.
Yeah,
hits and humble. That's what we are. Me, I am humble.
I
think we got our name. All right. Shall we?
All right. Bye, Lamely.
Bye.